All right. Good evening, people. What's going on? Back again, Dion, your 49er reporter here. Just gonna get the particulars out of the way before I get into the video. If you like, hit the like button. If you want to subscribe, hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell so I can keep you up to date on any and everything 49ers. Now, I'm gonna start expanding this channel a little bit. I'm gonna get into some other things as far as other teams and just some other subjects that wind up getting widely publicized and give my opinion on those as well. But I'm gonna keep it mostly strictly 49ers, so don't worry about that. I'm not gonna go away and veer off into, too much out of the realm of the 49ers. But there's a couple of things that I will comment on, but those will be in different videos. This video, perhaps, as of right now, is just basically going to be on us versus the Packers. Now, if you look at the consensus of all of the commentators and all of the people talking, we are not going to win this game. Everybody says we're going to lose. Everybody has us losing this game because of that bad man, Aaron Rodgers, which to me, he isn't really that great. You know why? Because I've done my homework on Mr. Rodgers, and I'm going to tell you this. This season, he's not very spectacular. And another quick thing, since I've done my homework, I find it a little odd that his number one receiver, Davante Adams, has not a single touchdown this year. Very, very odd. Because typically, whenever that happens and you have a number one receiver, like a Davante Adams, usually they've got a touchdown or two. Maybe three, maybe four, maybe five. Who knows? But in this instance, guys, no, not at all. Davante Adams has no touchdowns. So let's just get into the statistics, because I'm a statistical type of person, and I personally like to be able to prove things and to build things up to show you why things are the way they are. Because it makes more sense when you look at it from that standpoint. So, just on the eye test, one thing that I have been hearing, because I watch a lot of Rombo Sports, shout out Rombo, that's my dog. A lot of people have been saying that Aaron Rodgers, is a statue in the pocket. Not true. I've seen Aaron Rodgers rip off some pretty good runs, and when he needs to, he can do that. So you have to be very mindful of his mobileness. Aaron Rodgers, I would compare his mobility to that of an Alex Smith. And the reason I say that is because, oddly enough, those two have a very, very big tie to each other, because we were courting Alex Smith and Aaron Rodgers the same year. Alex Smith out of Utah, Aaron Rodgers out of Cal. And, of course, yes, we were trying to figure out who we were going to pick. Would it be A-Rod? Would it be Alex Smith? Of course, we wound up going with Alex Smith. You see how that went. We ran that poor man through a million different coordinators in such a short span of time and expected him to turn into the next Joe Montana. But that's besides the point. So A-Rod is a fairly mobile quarterback when he needs to be. So if you allow him to be able to run to pick up a first down, he'll do it, but he's going to slide. He's not going to pull no Lamar Jackson out there, man. I'm not saying this dude is finna take off and run for 50 yards and a touchdown. It's not going to happen. He's not going to pull what Colin did to them some years ago in that playoff game where he just took the fuck off and galloped down the field like a fucking horse and kissed that bicep so lovely. He murdered them that game. But let's just get to the statistics here. So the Packers are number 17 total offense. They have they're number 11th in the pass, number 18th in the rush. Now, they've outscored their opponents by 101 points in all of their wins. So they scored 246. Their opponents, have only scored, basically a little bit less. So this is how this is working for them. And those wins, they're averaging about 30 points a game. So that's actually not bad. That's pretty good. So you have A-Rod. A-Rod's got a 64.8% completion percentage. He's got 17 TDs and only 2 interceptions. So everybody will say, man, like that's great. Yes, of course, because his touchdown interception ratio is completely lopsided in the right way. But um, Aaron Jones, their running back, 589 yards, 4.4 yards per carry. Now, the one thing he does have is 11 touchdowns. So he's been a welcome addition to that squad because, A-Rod ain't had a running game in such a long time. He had they had little spurts where they had guys here and there, but they haven't had a solid, consistent back they can count on year in and year out. Eddie Lacy had him for a few years, and then he had problems with his weight, and now you see that dude's not even on an NFL roster. Last great running back they had, I think was like Ahman Green or something like that. So it's been a while. There's been some things going on there with their run game, but he's been a welcome addition, but he does have 2 fumbles. Aaron Rodgers has 109 yards rushing this year. He's averaging about 4 yards a carry. He's got 1 TD, and he also has a fumble. So next up, we got their receivers. Davante Adams, 39 catches, 537 yards. Like I said before, no touchdowns. And that's very odd for you to have your number 1 receiver without a TD. But then you got Aaron Jones, the running back that I just spoke about. He's got 3 TDs receiving. Jimmy Graham, 3 TDs receiving. Jamal Williams, 5 TDs receiving. So A-Rod's been spreading the ball around and, trying to get some love to other people, but it necessarily ain't been working out in the favor of Mr. Adams here because he hasn't really done much of anything. So, their offense can be explosive. And the one thing about Aaron Rodgers is you don't want to get him on the move. You want him to stay in the pocket. And the reason I say that is because he's one of the best quarterbacks that's off kilter making throws. I can say another quarterback that's like that is Big Ben Roethlisberger when healthy. I've seen that guy getting his feet literally wrapped up and somebody trying to push him down and he will still make a full-on accurate throw. So there are guys out there that are just better on the move. Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Big Ben. Those are guys that you really have to be very mindful of because they will wind up in a situation where they do what? They're better on the move. They prefer to roll out of the pocket to be able to make a play happen. And the more time you give Aaron Rodgers, the more likely the chance is that he actually scored, that he actually throws a perfect ball to someone and they make a play because DBs will start to give up on the receivers because they figure, okay, well, he's been back there for 10 seconds. They got to have gotten to him now. No. With Aaron Rodgers, you got to cover him 3, 4, 5 times over because you can't just give up on him like that. So next up is the defense. So the defense is 28th in the league, man. That's just bad. That's really bad. And the issue with them is, honestly, is it's just a little bit of everything, man. So they have the 23rd ranked passing defense, 25th ranked rushing defense. Now, the sad part is our run game is taking a step back these last couple of games, man. We ain't look like we normally supposed to have been. Our last couple of games running the ball haven't been, necessarily fantastic. I know we have a running back by committee, but we haven't had the spark that we normally have, So, period point blank for them. They've got 2 dudes that are they got 4 guys that are making some noise. So this guy, Preston Smith's got 10 sacks. He's up there in the top 5 in the league with sacks. Zadarius Smith has 8.5 sacks. And Blake Martinez, their linebacker, is their leading tackler with 102 tackles. He's up there at tops of the league for tackles as well. They got a DB, Kevin King. He's got 3 interceptions, 11 passes defense. And the other guy, Jair Alexander, he's got about 12 passes defense. And he's got, I think, 1 pick. So the thing is their DBs are actually not too bad. They're pretty solid to an extent. But still with a 28th, with a 23rd ranked passing defense, you got all that and nothing's really happening. That's pretty shitty. So for me, I looked at it and I said, okay, well, with the defense being what it is, this should be, more of an easy win. But I think it's going to be a bit of a shootout. And the reason I say that is because you can't count on Aaron Rodgers. As much as people, give him credit for being his bad man and being the person that he is and making the plays that he does, I give him credit for that as well. But I don't feel like Aaron's going to go ahead and, wind up, lighting us up like that. Not at home anyway. Because the faithful, in the words of Jimmy G, man, the faithful always rocking. And we're going to get that place lit up, man. We're going to have a field day on that ass. And the beauty of this is I get to beat two people. I get to beat my ex. And exit now. Oh, sorry. That's the alarm for the crib, man. Give me a second, y'all. Every now and then, there's always some kind of interruption during the video. You know what I mean? So I gotta go, and get the damn security turned off, man. Oh, y'all. Disarmed. And now we good. See that? But you gotta have security in your home, people. You gotta stay safe at all times, man. I'm just gonna tell you that right now, And, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I live in an apartment, but that's the beauty of having that, man. Pay for that every year. Keep you safe, bro. But either way, with Aaron Rodgers, you can't count him out. You want to be very mindful of him. And so in their two losses, I noticed a couple things. Sure, Joey probably called Nick and told Nick what to do against Aaron because the Chargers got him. The Eagles got him. But you know what the caveat was in both of those games? Aaron Jones. If Aaron Jones is ineffective, they lose. Because in those two games, Aaron Jones was completely ineffective. Now, A-Rod versus the Eagles, he had 422 passing yards, 2 TDs, and 1 interception. And he also had a fumble. So they came through and they got him. But the defense shut down Aaron Jones. He had like 25, 30 yards. Same thing when it came to them playing the Chargers. He had way less passing yards. He only had 161 passing yards, 1 TD, and he had 3 sacks that he took. So our defense we're sack artists. That's, hell, we've got a line full of first fucking rounders. And the one thing I can tell you is we're going to get them. We're going to get them in ways you cannot imagine. And here's the thing. We're 9-1. We should be 10-0. For all the people that watch my videos and want to talk shit as far as Seahawks fans and other fans, other teams, period, point blank, at the end of the day, a W is a W and a loss is a loss. So do I have to take that one on the chin? Yes, I do. But in reality, you look at it like this. If that kick is made by McLaughlin, that's 10-0. So don't tell me that that's not, that's not reality, you know what I'm saying? Because that would have been a reality had he made the kick. But either way, it was a loss. And we gave Russell Wilson a little too much time to be able to pull that off. So one thing I'm going to get to us is our injuries, man. They keep piling up, but we keep, that next man up mentality, man, and we just don't stop. So we lost, Blair. He's out for the season with a torn ACL, man. DJ Jones, he may or may not be back this week with that groin injury. We'll see if he's able to go. Al-Shaair is good. Staley, he's not playing. Justin School starting in his his place. Emmanuel Sanders. The thing about Emmanuel Sanders is he may or may not go. I don't know. I feel like I'm a little more doubtful that he will be able to play, only because that's a cartilage type of thing, when it comes to your ribs, and it's pretty hard to play with because you're extending yourself, you're stretching, you're moving in ways that is only going to continually either tear or pull on that cartilage, and that shit is painful, man. Now, Matt Breida, his ankle injury, I don't know if he's going to be able to go. They're saying he's a game-time decision, but I'm going to tell you right now, I think he's not going to play. He hasn't been playing these past couple of games. An ankle injury has happened. But Breida has not been known to stay healthy for a full season. That's just not, it's normal. Like, we know this, which is why we have so many running backs. But from the actual injury report, out Joe Staley with a finger, D4 with a hamstring, doubtful Matt Breida, kicker Robbie Gould. He's probably not going to play. I think McLaughlin's going to play again. Questionable tight end George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, Emmanuel Sanders, DJ Jones, Raheem Mostert, Azeez Al-Shaair are all good to go. I will tell you this. George is going to play. George is not missing this game. And that's just it. He's not missing this game. He's going to play. I know he's ready. I know he's healthy. I've seen him running routes in the videos. George is ready. do not be worried about George playing. Okay. So we ourselves have outscored our opponents by 143 points in all of our wins. And we only, had a couple of close games where, we should have been probably, extended those a little bit more. But the only close games we really had was against the Steelers, Thursday nighter against the Cards, and basically that Monday nighter against the Seahawks. Those are the only real close games that we have. Other than that, we won all our games by at least, 9 points or more. And I say 9 because we beat the Redskins 9-0, and then we wound up having everybody else had a situation where we were just going in there and just beating them up bad. Now, one thing I do want to say is right now our defense is kind of taking a little bit of a hit as far as it goes for the running game. Like we've been giving up runs like nobody's business, man. So the hard part for us is that it's the chunk plays that are killing us. We've given up 8 plays of 20 yards or more. So when you think about it, and we've only given up 1 play of 40 yards or more, but when you think about it, those 20-yard plays are what give people the stats that they need to be able to get over that hump where it's 100 yards or it's this or it's that. So oddly enough, we're ranked number 20 in the league, man, in rushing. And that's bad because we have the number 2 total defense. So that just is almost utterly confusing to someone. How do you figure, like, how you have a number 2 ranked defense, but you got the 20th ranked rushing defense? So the issue that we have is just chunk plays. We got to stop these chunk plays from happening. So this game is very simple. From a defensive standpoint, it's easy. Shut down Aaron Jones, and then you're going to force Aaron Rodgers to continually throw. He's going to throw the ball into the wrong place at some point, at some time. He only has 2 interceptions on the season. I'll tell you right now, he's going to come out of this with at least 4. You know what I'm saying? We're going to pick him off at least twice. I believe we'll pick him off twice and sack him at least 4 to 5 times. And the reason is because their O-line isn't going to be enough to be able to deal with our defensive line. We're not going to miss much with Dee Ford being out. And to be honest with you, when we got Dee Ford from Kansas City, we knew there were going to be constant injury concerns surrounding him, and he wasn't going to be able to play a full season. He's not a player that's always healthy. Like that last season he played with Kansas City was probably the healthiest he's been in his whole career. He was a first-round draft pick. But the thing is it's normal. Like, it's common with him. So I can tell you that what'll happen with Dee Ford is he'll miss time like that. But you know what that's going to do? Nothing. Why? Because there's a guy named Demontre Moore that's going to step in and do his fucking job. He's going to get it going. Like, we don't have any reason to be worried at all. The only thing that Demontre Moore doesn't have is Dee Ford's first step, because his get-off is nasty. Like, if you ever watched any of the games that we have, watch Dee Ford when he gets off. His first step is just ridiculous because it seems like he's already in the backfield after the ball is snapped, unless the guard actually gets the proper angle on him and knows how to defend him. So, I figure our 2 tall trees in the middle, DeForest Buckner and Eric Armstead, are going to be pushing that pocket and getting them going. You know what I'm saying? It's just a continual rotation. We'll put Solly in if we need to. We'll, Nick over there, he's been getting double teamed these last 2 games, so he hasn't even had a sack in the last couple games because they've just been double teaming him. But that's been opening it up for other guys to be able to get in there and do their thing. So we're just going to continue to keep grinding on defense. I'm not worried about our defensive backfield. Oh, and by the way, Keller Witherspoon is back, motherfuckers. He is back, and he is ready. He's fully healthy. He's ready to go. So here's the thing. The issue that we have is a good issue to have. Like, you got E-Man. He's been playing great all these games. But it's like, damn, Keller's back, man. I can't just sit him on the bench. We got to let him get out there and play. So I tell you this, we're just going to rotate people in and out. They want to stay with Jimmy Ward and Jaquiski Tartt as far as that goes. As far as the safety positions, I get it. It's fine. I would honestly say be very leery of Devontae Adams' speed. That's where Tarvarius comes in because he's fast. But to be honest with you, I don't really see much of an issue. And then from an offensive standpoint, so I gave you, Aaron Rodgers information. I gave you his completion percentage. Now, here's the funny thing about that. If I go in and I take a look at our stats, which I'm about to do right now, ESPN.com, shout out ESPN. There's just one thing that I can tell you that's going to be a little confusing to some. So everybody been shooting on Jimmy, man, and I'm a little tired of that, bro. Like, y'all gotta stop shooting on my quarterback, man. Everybody, I don't trust him in big games, and we don't know what's going on, and he just doesn't make the right decisions. Blah blah blah. Jimmy got 18 TDs and 10 interceptions. He's taken 19 sacks this year. What that says to me is this is a quarterback in his first real season as a full-time quarterback, learning and growing. And he's going to have some bumps in the road. I'm all right with that. I just am. He's got a 68.8% completion percentage. The dude spreads the ball around. He gives the ball to whoever's open. His touchdowns are not narrowed down by just one person. That's what y'all don't realize, man. So you got to think about it. Once again, another stat that we have that most people don't. We got 3 different running backs with at least 300 yards or more. You know what I'm saying? Matt Breida has 1 TD. Tevin Coleman has 5 TDs rushing. I think Coleman has, let me see here. Coleman's got another TD. He's got 6 on the season because he got a TD receiving. So we can come at you many different ways rushing the ball. We don't care. We'll send in Jeff if we want to run over you. We'll go ahead and send in Raheem if we want to run past you. We'll send in Tevin if we want to have somebody out the backfield that can catch the ball and make plays, and then go ahead and still run up the gut and blow past you as well. And if Matt Breida is healthy, I'm going to wave at you because that's how fast that dude is. 22.3 miles per hour. I'll keep saying it all year until somebody tops it because ain't nobody going to top it. There's nobody that fast. That's the real cheetah. Keep that in mind. Tyreek Hill, any of y'all on Kansas City, come race any of my running backs will blow y'all out the box. And don't even let me get Keith in there. Keith ain't even been playing. He fast. Y'all know he fast. So then you get to the receiving. Kittle's going to play. Mark my words. Kittle will play. Kittle is ready. He's healthy. Look, man, they're giving Kittle all the time he needs to rest and relax. And they're saying, hey, man, just be ready. Be ready. Because when game time comes, we're going to call your number. And 85 is going to be out there alive and making it happen and getting it going. So what I will tell you is there's another guy here that just come on. And he's starting to catch the ball and make plays. And I'm loving it. And that's Deebo Samuel. Deebo is just nasty. He's like a little miniature Anquan Boldin. Like he just wants to hurt you when he runs, and he doesn't want you to try to take him down, because if you're just one person, the chances are you're really not gonna do it. You're gonna have to literally clamp your legs around that man's legs to be able to get him to go down. Like if his legs are moving and churning, the chances of you stopping him are slim to none. I seen 3 people tackling Deebo, and he was still fighting forward for more yards. Like the dude is just unstoppable. One thing that I can say is Kendrick Bourne has come along, but I like Kendrick Bourne in the red zone. He's a great red zone target. I feel like if you put Kendrick Bourne in the red, within 10 yards, 10 to 15 yards, get Kendrick Bourne the ball. Boom, you're done. Easy, simple. No need to be worried about anything. And then when you have E-Man when he's healthy, he's a great security blanket because he knows how to run routes. He's a professional, and he still has speed. So Jimmy loves having a guy like that because he can put the ball wherever he needs to put it, and he knows that Emmanuel Sanders is going to catch that. A couple of the other guys do have a few drops. So what I'm telling y'all right now, man, is this game, we need to see some different mix-up when it comes to the receivers. I'm not going to lie to you. If Emmanuel Sanders can't go, you know who our 2 starting receivers should be? Deebo Samuel and Richie James Jr. You know why? Because we really don't have much else when it comes to receiving. Ross Dwelley looked great. He had those 2 catches for touchdowns last game, but he didn't have many yards. So you got to think about it. Technically speaking right now, Deebo Samuel, Kendrick Bourne, Marquise Goodwin, Richie James Jr., and Dante Pettis are all we got if Emmanuel Sanders can't go. I don't trust Dante. Dante ain't showed me nothing all year to make me trust him. Besides that touchdown he had in the game against the Bucks and the other touchdown he had when we played the Cards, he's been non-existent, man. You know what I'm saying? This is Dante Pettis all year long. He's played all 10 games. He has 11 catches on 24 targets. So that's about 50%, somewhere around there, right around there. He only has 109 yards and 2 TDs. He ain't even averaging the first down. Everybody else averaging, even Juice is averaging a first down per catch. You know what I'm saying? Raheem is averaging a first down per catch. Jeff Wilson Jr., who barely gets any playing time, is averaging more than the first down per catch. I'm just saying, man, I just said something about you, and it's like Shanahan has said that he's his biggest advocate and everything, man. But this may be a little bit of a shootout. Either way, at the end of the day, we're coming out with the W. San Francisco 49ers will win this game. And I'm going to tell y'all, I'm going to go with probably like 34-17. I feel like we're going to go out there and mollywop that porous defensive backfield. And we are going to get back on track this game and trample their run defense. And I can tell you why. Strictly because everybody will tell you, oh, well, they did, they got back on track with their run game against, the Packers' porous run defense. At the end of the day, who gives a shit who we get back on track against? It's just the fact that we got back on track. That's all I'm saying. Period, point blank, guys. I'm going to go ahead and end this video. I know this was a long video, but I had a lot of points to hit and a lot of things to get into. Period, point blank. 34-17. We going to beat these Packers. And I get to laugh at my dad's ex-wife. I get to laugh at my ex. I get to laugh at all these Packer fans out there. Rest in peace to my cousin Mark. He was a diehard Packer fan. I know he up there in heaven watching, but we got to put the beat down on you, bro. You know what I'm saying? But everybody, y'all have a great night. Stay 49er faithful. Keep continuing to watch the channel. I appreciate everybody that has actually kept up with the channel. And I thank you for everybody that subscribes and likes this stuff. It's really, a big thing for me because this is my passion and I'm trying to make this take off and do the things that I really need to do for it to be able to put it in a position where I can do so much more, for me and my family. I just be taking care of my wife. She ain't feeling good right now, but hopefully she be feeling a little bit better, man. She got a little cold right after we came to Disneyland, man. It was crazy. She got sick, but that's that old climate change, man. You go from California to AZ. It happens, but peace and blessings to all of y'all tonight, man. And stay Niner faithful. We are the Niner gang. I guarantee you we're going to go ahead and get everything rolling in the right direction. And when we beat these Packers, we're going to make all those commentators eat crow, especially Mr. Stephen A. Smith. He loves that bad man. When he going to be crying, where was my bad man? But my 49ers just beat up on him. Just the defense came in and just that shit ain't right. And I'll be sitting here going, Stephen, I told you, man, it's okay. It's all right. Need a hug? No, not going to happen. Y'all have a good night.